Welcome to the Charleston Marketing Podcast, brought to you by the Charleston AMA and broadcasting from our friends at Charleston Media Solutions Studios. Thanks to our awesome sponsors at CMS, we get to chat with the cool folks making waves in Charleston. From business and art to hospitality and tech, these movers and shakers choose to call the Lowcountry home. They live here, work here, and make a difference here. So what's their story? Let's find out together.
Hey guys, welcome to the Charleston Marketing Podcast. Stephanie Barrow here, founder of Stephanie Barrow Consulting, a digital marketing strategy agency here in Charleston. And we are coming live, kind of, pre-recorded, as you would say, from the Charleston Media Solutions. I am joined by my friend and co-host, Mike Compton.
Hey,
Say what's
me.
up, Mike.
Hi,
That is
Stephanie.
you.
How are you?
I have been really good.
Have you? Because you've been going through some stuff.
I've been
man.
going through some stuff.
Not to dig, but good Lord.
Yeah.
You're getting through it, though. You look
Yeah,
good.
we lost a dog. He passed away.
Oh,
Rest in
my
peace, Duke.
gosh.
And then two of our parents have been sick, so we're back.
You're back.
I got some color on me. Look. Don't I look cute?
You don't look as pale as you did last.
Thanks. I'll take it.
I'm just kidding. You never look pale, Steph.
I've been
Mike,
chilling by my pool, drinking the margaritas,
There you go.
consoling myself. But
Living-
yes, we are doing much better.
Living the Charleston lifestyle.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
And we have well, first of all, hi, Mike Compton. Nice to meet you. Roombo Advertising,
Yep,
Branding,
that's your
Strategy,
name.
Creative. Incoming president of the Charleston American Marketing Association, please. Well, by this time, I'll be president. So
Oh, look at
jump
you.
on board, everybody.
big pants
Now's
on.
the
I'm
time.
so excited
You know
for
what
you.
I mean? Join AMA.
That's right. That's right.
Because we have cool guests and cool board members, really. Like when I say cool, I mean like people that know people on our board. We've got Nicole Farina on the house right now. She's like the Charleston lifestyle influencer, I think, period. Right? But how did we find you? Who is it? Katie?
Yes.
Katie? Okay.
Mhm.
I thought it was Margaret.
It was Katie.
Katie?
It was Katie
We
because I
gotta love
saw
some Katie.
one of your nonprofits that you have is going places.
Not me.
Yeah, Charleston Diaries.
Oh, yeah.
She
Yeah.
partners
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
partner
see
with that.
what he's trying to
I was
say.
like-
sometimes I have to.
I don't have
along.
I don't have going
She's like,
places.
I don't have a nonprofit.
No, but you support them.
This is a good spin.
Yes.
Let's make that happen.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I'm with
That's
you
funny.
now.
Yeah.
Nice. So say hello.
Hello. Thank you
Yeah.
guys for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
So you have Charleston Diaries. You can't even. You forget sometimes. You don't. You know what I mean? Like, how much do you?
I do so much that
So
I'm
much.
just like
yeah.
I'm yeah.
The events too.
Yes, and Charleston Diaries is kind of like that's kind of how I like name everything that I do.
Love it.
But even though my social media is technically like under my name, Nicole Farina. So I do, my influencing stuff, and then it's also Charleston Diaries, and it all kind of is under one big umbrella.
Love that.
Yes.
I love an umbrella brand. That's
Yes.
awesome.
How did you come up with that plan? Was it trials and tribulations? Did you have help? Did you because we have a lot of influencers in our membership.
Mm-hmm.
What was the process?
Yeah, definitely a lot of trials and tribulations. I moved to Charleston in 2020. I was 24, 2 years out of college, and I graduated college in 2018. I'm from Delaware originally.
Delaware.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
Yes. And
Don't know many people from Delaware.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There's not many of us.
Yeah.
There's not much to do in Delaware.
Decided to move to Charleston.
Pretty much. I was living at home for 2 years after college. I swam growing up. I love coaching swimming. And so I kind of was like, okay, this is my chance to see if I want to coach swimming full time.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so I did that. I went back to my club swim team and I did that. And after doing that for a year, I was like, oh, I love this, but this isn't my passion in life.
Calling. Yeah.
And I was kind of just like, okay, I want to move out of Delaware. I'm done with living with my parents, the whole thing. And I was planning on moving to New York City because I thought that was just,
What you're
I
supposed to
should
do.
do that.
Mhm.
And I was an English major. I was like, oh, let me go work in marketing or communications or something
I
in the
can
city.
see you as a journalist in New York City.
Yeah, like that was definitely what I thought I wanted to do. And then obviously COVID hit and because I was planning on moving like that summer.
Oh my.
Yeah.
And so COVID hit and I was like, okay, so obviously not going to New York, but I also am like, I'm at a point in my life that I need to go somewhere.
Sure.
So I kind of just spent the summer just figuring it out. And I was like, I'm going to move to Charleston. I didn't know why. I just like felt
Thank you, Travel and Leisure Magazine,
Called.
for bringing the cool people from all over the country.
Do you think it was something like that? Do you
I think I saw
was-
it on Pinterest. I actually think I was like on Pinterest because I was planning on moving to New York with like my best friend Leah from growing up. And when obviously COVID hit, we were like, okay, we need to rethink this. And I was just like, I want to move somewhere. I need to.
Yeah. Gotta
But
go.
like, what's our vibe? And I was like, kind of thinking, I want to be somewhere where it's going to be warm out.
Mhm.
If like everything shuts down again.
That
I don't
is a
want to be
smart
locked
move.
in because
I
Delaware.
can social distance on the beach by myself.
Yeah, because
right?
Delaware in the spring when COVID hit it was still cold. It was miserable. So I was just like, I don't like if this happens again, I don't want to do this. So I remember going on Pinterest and I'm just like searching and I'm like seeing Savannah and Charleston. But at this point, I feel like Charleston, 5 years ago, Charleston wasn't as big as it is now, and it was still kind of like under the radar. I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
So I kind of just like I just had this really big gut feeling, and I was like, I'm gonna move to Charleston. And Leah was like, okay. She'd been there a couple times. She went to college in Myrtle Beach, so
she was somewhat familiar.
Oh, okay.
somewhat familiar, but like not
Yeah.
that familiar. But we were just
Yeah,
kind of like, let's do it. And so we like came down. I came down for the first time in September of 2020 to apartment hunt, and then I moved here a month
I was
later.
going to say, did you just pull up with your U-Haul with all your stuff in
Pretty
it?
much, yeah. And then I also moved here without a job, which was interesting. But it was kind of like I just had to do it. It was
Right.
because I was moving with my friend Leah and then another friend Allie, and it was kind of like for us to all get the apartment, to all get like we just kind of had to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
So we moved, and it was my third day in that apartment, and I was sitting like at my desk, and I was kind of like writing, brainstorming, like trying to figure out what I want to do, and I just like had another like epiphany, and I was like, I'm gonna make something called the Charleston Diaries. I didn't know what it was gonna be, and I still have the notebook there. I like wrote it down. I said something about like a storytelling platform, blog, something about just like telling my like times in Charleston. And I kind of just like
very Emily in Paris vibes to me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I kind of just like sat on that. I ended up getting a job at the Post and Courier. And then the following summer, like my first summer in Charleston, I like got like a camcorder, like an old video camera. And I was like, I'm just going to bring this around and like record stuff.
I love it.
And I'm going to make videos. And because I like, that's something I obviously love to do is just making videos. And I made an Instagram page called the Charleston Diaries. It was really just me and my friends just like going out on the weekends or like going to do something. It had like 100 followers. Like, it was just like my friends. And then, so that was summer 2021. And then going into the fall and winter, I was like, oh, I want to get back to like my writing roots. Like I want to add more to this Charleston Diaries thing. So I made a website. I started a blog. Again, it's like no one was actually reading this. Like it was very like, I'm just doing it. People who know me are looking at it. And both the Instagram and the blog were really fun, but I didn't feel, I'm like, there's more to this. I need to keep flushing this out, whatever. And then it was just about 3 years ago, I was actually going on a first date. And I was like, I'm going to like vlog this and post it on TikTok.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I did like a Get Ready With Me before Get Ready With Me is like were a thing. Kind of like I was just getting ready.
She found Get Ready With Me. You've heard of it first.
Yeah, it was me actually, not Alex Earl. It was me.
That's right.
But I just kind of was like posting it, and I kind of like, made it silly. I was talking about dating in Charleston, and then I just, whatever. And that video did really well. And I was like, oh, that's so interesting. And I was like, oh, if people care about this, maybe they'll care if I post more about my life and more about Charleston content and whatever. And so the following weekend, I vlogged my whole weekend. I didn't know. I vlogged it inside the TikTok app. And at that point, you could only make 3-minute long videos. And I didn't realize that you could like edit it outside the TikTok app. Yeah. So I vlogged my whole weekend. I also recorded the voiceover in the app, not knowing that you could like stop and start it. I literally spoke for 3 minutes straight, like doing my voiceover, explaining my weekend.
Nice.
And I just was like, welcome to the Charleston Diaries. This was my weekend. And I posted it, and basically the rest is history. Yeah. And it did very well. And it just kind of was like, people were just like,
what does very well mean? What is it? What is?
I mean, viral for the time. TikTok's very different now, I feel like, than it was then. I feel like at that point, like between 2020 and 2022, I feel like TikTok was very like, it was still kind of flying under the radar where it was just like, it was people
were coming out of COVID and getting back into doing things.
Yeah. And people weren't, I think it was still kind of taboo to post that kind of stuff.
Sure.
People weren't as comfortable. And so, not to say like I was one of the first people to post, but I feel like the way I was posting,
right,
instead of like the aesthetic vibe that you see on Instagram of like making everything picture perfect, like I was doing it as like I'm showing me and my friends going out. And then I'm telling you what you're doing.
Social distancing is over.
Yeah,
you can go out and enjoy your life again.
Yeah,
that's great.
And I would be like telling a story in my voiceover. So I think, I don't remember exactly like how well the videos did, but viral enough that it was,
like, oh, I have something.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that gave me the momentum that I was like, okay, like these Charleston Diaries videos are when I go visit a restaurant, or it's just me on a random weekday, like what I do going to work. And I think it works in Charleston because pretty much anything you do here can be seen as aesthetic. It's beautiful here. So I think even on my like mundane things that I was posting at that time still did well because Charleston was up and coming. Influencing and content creation was up and coming, and it just kind of like all came together.
Do you feel like most of your followers are people coming to visit Charleston, or are they people that already live here and looking for like restaurant ideas and things to do?
I would say it's honestly pretty scattered across people who live here, people who are looking to move here, and then people who are just like looking to vacation here.
Right.
So it's interesting. It's kind of, I've never really needed to cater to any one of those things because
You're just like, I'm just enjoying my life in Charleston.
Yeah. And it just kind of works for
Sure.
all of those categories.
Sure.
Yeah.
Who does anybody reach out to you and say, will you post for us? Like, I would think that the town of Mount Pleasant or IOP or Sullivan's Island
absolutely.
would be like,
She
hey.
gets a lot of partnerships, don't you?
Yeah.
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 So how does that work?
For sure. It depends. And that's something that I've kind of struggled with. That's definitely something that people don't talk about with influencing is like, what are you like worth almost,
Right.
you know? And like, can you charge people? Or is it just an exchange type of thing?
And you go stay at the Dewberry for the night and post your experience.
And it's like, absolutely. And it's like, that's, obviously worth a couple $100s. That
for
sure, I'll do that for free. But then there's some things that it's like, oh, hey, can you just come in and post this? And can we also just get all your content so that we can use it and you get no money? And I'm like,
that doesn't work.
And
like
that is a really hard thing to do when you're just doing it by yourself. And I've always been someone that like struggles a bit to not stand up for myself, but just to like
know your worth and say,
So-
no, I need to. Yeah.
And especially at that time, like I feel like for the first year or two, it was very, people weren't talking about it. I didn't even realize that you could get paid.
Right.
So I was kind of like, oh yeah, sure, I'll do or whatever, because I think my brand for a while was very just Charleston based. And I've expanded a little bit more of just talking about like, I started talking about dating and just like life in your 20s and everything. But at first it really was Charleston. And so, yeah, I was doing like anything. Anybody that came to me, I was like, oh yeah, sure. Right. I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Right.
I mean, it is cool. It's great.
It is great.
It is. And but then it obviously comes to a point where it's like, okay, you need to make money.
Well, because you're putting a lot of time and effort into these videos.
Yes.
Like that's my part in the company as a content production producer, and it takes time. It takes time to edit. So one of my questions was, what's your stack look like? Like, so you're shooting on just a cell phone. You're shooting. I don't want to say just either, because obviously cell phones do great. So you're shooting a cell phone, then you go into CapCut, then you go into, and what else are you using distribution wise? Like, I'm a toolkit for other influencers out there.
Yeah, I've definitely the way I do it now is iPhone, edit in CapCut, and then obviously post from there. But I've tried so many things. I've tried like recording with a nice camera, and I've just found that honestly, like in the videos that I post, they don't do as well because it's almost like I feel like people don't. At least if you're looking on TikTok and you're looking for these like fun videos,
right?
You're almost gonna just from what I found, you're gonna scroll past these like really aesthetic videos because it's just not as relatable.
Well, Meta's also come out and said that they prioritize ones where you're like basically just talking at the camera. They analytically they've.
Is this real? Is this true?
This is true.
Do you know this?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
They've said it. Yeah. That they prioritize.
I believe you, but I'm like, do you find that too, like in practice? And then are you saying that these things that you're doing with these cameras, the nicer cameras, they feel overproduced?
Yes. And I think that's what I was trying to do when I first started Charleston Diaries. Like I was doing, when I first started with the Instagram page, I had like the little camcorder, but then I eventually did get like a nice camera, and I was recording with that, and I was like, oh, it's just not. I don't know. It just something wasn't clicking. I'm like, it didn't, and it also to me, it didn't feel like it connected to my brand. I think that's more the nicer cameras and that kind of stuff is more for like Instagram, while TikTok I feel like is a little bit more casual.
Okay.
So yeah, I found that definitely phone and then CapCut. I love CapCut. I've tried like iMovie. I've tried so many different things, but CapCut is just like
CapCut
the
is
easiest.
so plug and play easy.
I can't figure it out for the life of me.
Really?
I'm Adobe Premiere, like Final
you're
Cut
an
began.
Actual
like
photographer,
I'm just
videographer guy.
Yeah,
professional. We're all professionals here.
Yeah, I'm a
but
professional. Let me get this
the
done.
The simplicity of it to me is I try to use it. I'd rather go to Premiere and knock it out there.
Yeah, everybody has their thing.
Yeah,
some people like to still. I know people that still edit fully in the TikTok app. Like there's big influencers that fully do that.
Okay.
Which that would drive me crazy because I like to have it separate and then add it in. I don't.
So I have one post on TikTok.
Do you?
Were you doing dad
it's not
things?
me. My buddy is doing dad things.
Oh, of course you were. Yeah, I love it.
I'll have to find it and show it to you, but it's pretty funny. But that's pretty pathetic, right? Like
I watch. I do my clients' TikToks, but you know.
Okay, so talk about the client TikToks.
Sure.
Like what is Rudd Plumbing doing TikToks?
They do Tip Tuesday sometimes.
So you publish it on
But most of my
that's smart.
clients that are like, for instance, a client I work with in Boston called the Croy C. Griffin Foundation. They do this annual benefit concert. They raise like millions of dollars for their nonprofit. And like we use Dustin Lynch as our artist this year. So it's pretty easy to make captivating, videos when you're pitching someone as cool as Dustin Lynch. But on the daily, I have a lot of home services clients too, and they do like Tip Tuesdays, that kind of thing. Celebration videos when they win Best of Charleston. Shout out to Carolina Exterminating. Those kinds of things. We do, fun videos like that to show that it's team-centered, it's community-centered, locally owned and operated. So I think there's a way to do that. But for me, when I'm watching TikTok, it's basically like entrepreneurial women stuff, your fun mom stuff, and you still have good skin and you look good stuff. So that's the kind of videos that are catering to or dogs. I get a lot of dogs or funny cat stuff. So but a lot of skincare, that kind of thing. Cute clothes, get ready with me. Oh, Amazon finds, like that's the kind of stuff that I'm watching. And I go out to dinner a lot. So I do a lot of like Charleston foodie stuff.
That's great.
So that's my feed. You're welcome.
You ever look at your person and
Oh,
Do you remember that
happening.
that trend
did I land you?
where you use that audio?
You're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
So he's just eating.
We were cabining up in the mountains
Beautiful.
with another families,
That's
and
beautiful.
my buddy was just.
12 shares. 12 saves.
This was
That's
his
great.
idea.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
My buddy Kevin. Shout out to Austin Air. Actually, he owns Austin Air. Kevin Austin.
I think that Matthew and I did one of those, but it was like Mr. Boombastic was something about, like their sexy husband, and like he was like shaving my dog and grooming it on a Saturday morning, and I'm like drinking like a mimosa, and I'm like, you married up when,
You made a post like that though. I just saw.
Yeah.
Doing a little bit of research on you, you said that your fiance was your personal chef.
Boyfriend of 1 year.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to
Congratulations.
foreshadow for you.
Foreshadow.
Manifest
Yeah, I'm like,
if you
we're
want.
not there yet.
We're all about the love. We're all about the love.
Your boyfriend is your personal chef.
Oh,
That's great.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
so great.
I'm a personal chef too, but I
Yeah.
mean that's fine. My wife,
Yeah.
she cooks too, though.
Yeah.
I should say that. I learned it from my mom. I talked to
Yeah.
my mom the other day. She said I should talk more about her on the podcast, like bring her up more.
Oh, I
I'm
love
like,
your
oh,
mom.
That's great, mom. Yeah,
It's
you're
great
right.
that your
I
mom is
should.
listening.
I should. Shout out to moms.
Yeah.
Shout out to moms. That's
That
right.
is what I like about your
Wouldn't be
feed
here without
though
him.
is that I follow a lot of influencers because I'm in the marketing space, and a lot of everyone looks just like perfect all the time, and they kind of make me feel bad about myself
Yeah.
when I'm dropping off the kid braless at school. So, but you're just like very chill and relaxed and very much yourself, and you're just going out having a good night. How do you ever feel like the pressure to change who you are? Or are you just that comfortable in your own skin?
Oh, I've definitely felt the pressure. I think
Okay.
I've definitely over the past 3 years, because it's been 3 years, it's ebbed and flowed of like how a lot of times my content reflects like not how I'm feeling about myself, but just like kind of just how everything in my life is going. And I think when I'm feeling confident, everything's going well, it's so easy to go sit in front of a camera for me and just talk and whatever and just be open and honest. And it's the times that things are a little tougher where I'm just like, I'm kind of like running and hiding. But at the same time, I think I always, when I first started social media, I was very passionate, and I still am, about like showing real life. And I think that's that's always been almost like the mission behind my social media, where it's like, yeah, if you go on Instagram, and I think, when social media really started getting big, you would go on Instagram and it's like all these models and everything's perfect and all
Everyone
these,
looks
whatever.
perfect.
And even when people were like posting, I remember in college, like when you're trying to post an Instagram, it's like, oh, it had to be perfectly edited and the best photo and whatever.
Right.
And
Filters, different perfect
all the filters
Yeah.
and even up until a couple years ago, I feel like it was still like that. But with TikTok, I just always felt as a viewer, I always felt like safe on TikTok because I feel like, you can go on, it's like you're FaceTiming with a friend.
Right.
And I think once I started posting, I was like, that's how I want people to feel. And that kind of started as my brand almost, is like posting on social media. Like obviously it was very Charleston based, but then once I started talking more about my life and everything, I was like, I'd want to be like, big sister is like a, overused phrase, but I did want it to feel like, I want people to feel like I'm their friend.
Sure.
You
Have
know.
you made real friendships through this?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. And that's kind of actually how I was able to turn my social media into more of a brand, where when I first started posting, I don't know if I was like the first person in Charleston to start posting like this. I don't know. But I got like a swarm of girls the first couple weeks just being like, hey, do you want to be my friend? Do you want to like meet up and grab drinks or dinner? Like, how do you make friends in Charleston? How do you meet people? And I was like, okay. And at the time I was like, just turned 26. I was very like, sure.
Yeah,
I'll make friends.
let's
I
do
mean,
it.
I had
I'm
a
new
lot
to
of
the
friends,
city
but I was
too.
like,
Yeah.
I'm so down. And then it just started to get like, oh my God, I don't have time for all that. And also I don't have money. Like I can't be going out every single night with people going to dinner.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, okay, I need to like think broader And if this is such a need, what do I do about it? And that's when I was like, oh, I should like host an event for girls in Charleston of how to make friends. Because everybody's asking not just how to make friends in Charleston, but like, how do you make friends after college? How do you make friends after COVID? Because it was 2022. And it was like, people are starting to, some people are still fully remote, but then other people are starting to get back into the office and whatever. And it's like, how do you socialize?
Right.
And so then I was like, oh, I should just host a big event.
Did you?
I did.
Okay.
And I hosted it. So I guess I started posting on TikTok in June. I think probably a month later, like that July, I was like, I think I'm going to do this is when I decided. And then I hosted it in September. And there were, I think I sold like 300 and like
What the?
80 tickets or something.
Jeez Louise.
It was crazy. It
What
was
was the
it was
event?
at share. It was just like a girls' night event. And it wasn't any, like, objectively looking back, obviously I'm not like putting myself down, but it's like looking back, there wasn't anything special about it. It was just like, I'm just talking on TikTok saying I'm hosting this event for any girls that want to come make friends. Like, there's going to be a couple vendors there. Like, I reached out, or actually I think some brands reached out to me, but then I also like reached out to a couple. And
Oh, so you had like vendors there?
I had like
Okay.
4 vendors there, just as like something to do,
Sure.
and
like shopping or whatever.
Yeah, and I also really, obviously, I'm so passionate about Charleston. I just like want to support local businesses. So it's like, oh, this is great. And I did it at Share House, and at first they were like, okay, we'll give you like 100 tickets, like, and you can have the back. Or at first they were like, you can have the front corner of the bar.
Right.
And the girl that I was working with at the time, like their events person, she was very realistic, where she was like, I know that you just started social media literally 2 months ago, but I know, like, I really believe in what you're doing. And so she was like pushing them and just being like, no, she's going to sell more. And I like sold those 75 tickets in like an hour.
Nice.
So they're like, okay, we're going to give you more and whatever. And so then they ended up being like, okay, you can have full capacity of the entire place. And
did you get to keep a percentage?
yes.
There you
That's
go.
good.
So the great thing about all this is that it launched this career. The bad thing is that I had to quit my full-time job because of it.
Okay.
Because I was working at Explore Charleston, and
yeah.
And so I started Explore Charleston earlier that year. I was working in media. I loved it, and I think that was like a big reason why I really enjoyed getting to know Charleston more, and also like understanding hospitality and the importance of it in our economy.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what I really was like, I think that was a big part of what gave me the push to also start posting on social media. But whatever, I'd posting all summer, then I was starting to plan this event. And it's not that I was keeping it secret at work, but it's just I wasn't talking about it. I didn't think that I needed to. And then it was like a week or 2 before the event, I had a meeting with both my bosses and HR, and they called me
About this?
Well, they like, and I had no idea. They just like call in a meeting, and they're just like, so tell us about the Charleston Diaries. And I was like, oh, well, it's, I post this stuff, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, I go to the restaurants, I do all this stuff. And,
Yeah.
and they're like, okay, so we know, we've been watching. You're amazing. This is great, but you can't do it while you work here. And I was like, oh, so why? And they were like, it's a conflict of interest. And
Okay.
and then they were like, oh, and then this event that you're doing in 2 weeks, like you can't work here while you do that, because it was going to be at Share House.
Right.
And Explore Charleston, for those who don't know, it's the like tourism
Yes.
company of
Yeah.
Charleston.
Yeah.
And they have members, and you can join restaurants,
Oh, I see.
hotels,
You're promoting
companies
someone who's a
can
non-member.
can join to be a member of Explore Charleston. And even though Share House was a member, it's like I was making money from that. So then it's like I'm making money. So then it's like,
Got it.
but then they were also like, okay, well, if you're promoting members, but you're also promoting non-members. So as an employee, like you can't do that. And I was just like, okay. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm
man.
going to quit my job, because it was kind of, they gave me like 2 days to decide. And it was kind of like, you need to pick.
That's a jump, dude.
Oh, it
That
was
is-
such a jump. I had been posting for 3 months, and I was like, but I had put so much work into that event and sold all those tickets, worked with all these, vendors, and worked really closely with Share House. And I was like, I feel like if I canceled this event 2 weeks before, like I feel like I'd burn a lot of bridges there.
Sure.
Right.
And I just was like, at the very end, I'm like, no matter what happens next, I just needed to go through with that event.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did. Obviously, it's been, it has not been an easy path the
It would have
past
been
3
easier
years.
if they kept you on board, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
and
get that.
I
Shame
do.
you couldn't partner in some way to make all that happen.
There's still
Yeah.
possibilities.
Yeah.
I see you're
Yes.
partnering
Yeah.
with somebody though. Milo, is that? Did I see that on your?
Yeah, that was last year. Yeah.
Okay. Is that the other part of your little story that we were going to talk about?
No.
Okay.
No,
good.
actually. But I swear, I've lived a million lives.
And you've only been here for
Since-
a handful
Yeah,
of
I've
years.
been
only
here
been
for
doing
like
this since-
almost
You're
5 years, and then I've been
hustler,
doing this for like 3 years.
Like,
Yeah,
there's no other hustler. Like you are
I appreciate that.
different. I don't know. Nowadays, it's bad to be a hustler, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but
It's
you've
the-
you've crushed it. Like,
Well, it's just been
You seem like
spending
you
our
get
weekends
sleep.
like having good restaurant meals and stuff.
oh, that's right.
Decided
Yeah,
to
you seem like you
balance.
get good sleep, and you're not like
Yeah.
hustling like
yeah.
like
Yeah.
24/7 ABC.
Yeah.
You know, like
Well, it's a hard. I have been hustling the past 3 years, and it's like I am still in the space of trying to figure. Like I would love to get to a point where I'm just like smooth sailing.
Yeah.
Almost.
Right.
good luck with that.
But it's been I don't know if I'm ever gonna get there, but it's been a lot of ups and downs. It's been a lot of, and simply put, financially, to be honest,
That-
because
that's
I like
100% what I'm
obviously
talking about,
got
yeah.
let go or not let go. That was a couple weeks ago. But when I left Explore Charleston, I was not financially ready to make
Right.
any
Right,
sort of leap.
exactly.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I was like that.
That's a
And
huge- Are you
know,
still living with your roommate this time?
no.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Well, they both. So I was living with my two roommates who
Your
I moved here
bestie.
with, my
Yeah.
my two best friends, and we lived together for 4 years. And then actually this time last year, I guess it was the spring last year, but they were like, so we're both moving home.
oh, come on.
And I know I love them so much. Everything's fine, but it was a very big like shock to
Yeah.
my life and system. And so then I was like, okay, time to live alone. So then
Yeah.
I lived alone, and then I had this crazy landlord situation the
What?
past year. Yes, and I'm actually in a bit of a legal situation with
We
her
won't
now.
talk
I
about
know.
that.
I want my
It's
20s.
crazy. It's fine. I just had to get out of there. She's just
Anyways.
anyways.
Um,
but
Are you
But-
still in love with Charleston?
yes, I am, and I've had a rough. That's so funny you said that, because I've had a really rough like past like month or two just with like personal stuff, and the past couple of days my boyfriend and I have just been like just doing stuff around Charleston, and just like, you know, we went on the Palmetto Breeze, we
Yeah.
went in
Yeah.
a helicopter around Charleston, which was
Cool.
amazing,
Haven't done that yet.
and we just like even went on a beach walk last night, and I was like, wow, I've like
Feel lucky to live here.
fallen back in love with
Yeah.
it, and I had to move the past month really quickly, and there was just like a lot going on, and I was like,
Sure.
wait, I love it here. Like, it's
Yeah.
just, it does get frustrating of like how crowded it gets and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I'm like, this is just the best place ever.
Mm,
Right.
You know?
agreed.
So
Agreed. Keep doing what you're doing.
yeah.
Yeah.
As far as the finances and the lifelong, it's always
Yeah.
no matter what, right? But
Mhm.
just keep following your dreams, the money will come.
Yeah.
I know it's
Yeah.
cliche, but
Yeah.
it's so true. I'm like
Do
walking.
you have a good support system amongst other influencers? Like we have the AMA, so we're all
Mhm.
collaborating and working together all the time. Do you have that for your influencers?
Definitely. Yeah. And I think like you know, when I first started out, I was just kind of like me doing my thing. And then it kind of like, you know, more people started to move here. And then I just started to get connected to more people. And then it was just like, I would be invited to these events. And at first I was very nervous to go to the events, because I'm just like, I'm a little shy where I'm like, like I don't, whatever.
You're real
and-
shy. You're real shy.
I know you wouldn't think that, but I am like in a
get
big
it.
like place. I'm just like,
It's a lot of personalities in that room,
it-
probably.
yes, and that's the thing where it's like
Exactly.
you don't there's some people that are like all best friends with each other, and you're like, I don't know, whatever. But then it got to a point where once I started going to them, I'm like, oh, I don't even have to worry about who's invited, because I know I'm gonna know people there.
That's
And
nice.
that became like a really nice thing where it's just like, yeah, I can just show up alone, because I know enough people now, and everybody's really friendly, and you know, everybody wants to support each other. And jumping ahead here, but we had I'm gonna get into what I was telling you guys.
yeah, no, I was
Yeah.
hoping
Yeah.
to transition into that. Yeah,
So
because your support, right? It's a support
it was
group
Yeah.
yes,
for influencers. How big is the influencing scene here in Charleston, real quick?
it's gotten
It's
so
big.
much bigger in the past couple months.
Uh-huh.
Last year, I would say like this time last year, it was still like a small-ish group.
Mhm.
But I think one, people keep moving here.
Yeah.
And two, I think people are starting to now feel more comfortable with posting. So it's like people are able to just post, you know, fun videos, and then they're also becoming an influencer, if that
Mhm.
makes sense. So I think the way social media is expanding now is like opening the influencing.
Yeah.
door.
No, so influencing now isn't just like a thing that people and brands are trying to include like last minute. It's being implemented in the very beginning.
Yes.
Yes. It's part of the
so-
original brand strategy.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So here you find yourself in Charleston. You're loving Charleston, and you've posted a few, and you see this lots of people saying, "Hey, I want to hang out." And then now you have a decent size influencing group of people,
Mhm.
right? Women and maybe men. I don't know.
There's a couple guys.
Couple
yeah.
dudes. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Whatever.
Holy City Handcraft we've had on here
Holy
before.
City. That's right. Yeah.
I love him.
Miguel.
I saw him at what's it called? Charleston Wine and Food.
Yeah. So now you have this group of people, and you're like, yes, let's do this. I'm going to help you. You're going to help me.
Mm-hmm.
And now you found this management team.
Yes. So about last
How did they
year,
find you? Are
they found me.
Local?
So they were local. Yeah. So about probably spring.
Do we know where they live?
Oh, they're gone now.
Oh,
I'm sure they are.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So it was like last spring. I was starting to be like, I am just getting a little bit in over my head with managing Charleston Diaries. I started my podcast. I was doing my events. I was doing all this stuff. Then I'm also, trying to manage being an influencer for myself, because the great thing about TikTok is like TikTok can reach anybody. And that's how I've been able to grow my brand, is that my stuff, even when I'm not talking about Charleston, like it can blow up, which is great. And that's how I've been able to get connected with brands and do brand partnerships and whatever. But, obviously it takes time to make videos and whatever. So I was just getting very overwhelmed, and I'm like, I know I can get more brand partnerships. I don't have time to pitch myself. Like, it's whatever. So I was like, okay, I want to figure out how to get a manager. I'm like, I don't even know if I have enough followers, but like, I feel like I probably do, whatever. Then it was so crazy. Like a week later, I got an email, and it was from this company, and she basically, the owner reached out, and she was like, we're Charleston based, whatever, management company, agency, and we would love to chat with you, and da-da-da. And I was like, okay, this is crazy timing. Sure. And then she sent me, like, before we even met, I think she sent me like a full pitch of like how she sees my brand developing and everything. And I was like, wow.
Okay.
Like she,
so it
like
sounded
she
very
gets
professional.
it. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is like, because I always struggle where I'm like, I feel like people don't always get it. Like, and so I just was like, oh, she sees my vision. And so we met, and everything was great. And obviously there's a lot of back and forth. They sent me a couple pitches and a couple like whatever templates. And, after a month, I finally decided, I was like, okay, I'm going to sign with them. Obviously there was a lot of thought went into it. I talked to my dad's in communications and stuff. And so he like looked over everything.
Oh,
He was like, just, be careful. But like, I think this is good. And I knew
they had a website.
Yep.
Okay.
And everything seemed very reputable. And I had, one of my influencer friends had signed with them like the same day as me. And we didn't realize it.
Oh, you didn't realize it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And but then we like put two and two together, and I'm like, okay, if Morgan, which I can say her name because we've talked about this, but like if Morgan signed, and then I'm like, oh, I trust her, because she's a very like I'm a lot more like the creative, like type B, like posting when I want, and she's more like Instagram type A, like very, very. She sees influencing as a business, and I very much trusted her and like her judgment too. And then I saw like a couple other people who signed, and I'm like, okay, we're good. And the summer went on, and at that point I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a break from my podcast, take a break from events, do a little, because I also coach a swim team in the summer. So I was like, I cannot do this all.
Sure.
So whatever. But I was like, okay, I have my management team behind me. Like they're helping me get some brand deals. We're thinking big picture for the fall of how do I, start season 2 of my podcast. We were planning to host an event. I think my event was going to be in like October, my next one. And everything was okay. And then towards like the end of the summer, I start hearing from Morgan and then some other people that are in, because they're at this point, they've acquired like 12 clients.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, there's only like 3 people that work for this company. Like, how do you?
What is it to do though?
What
is it the management company's doing?
Gigs, like partnerships.
Like a management company would do.
Basically like a talent agent for influencers.
But but like for me specifically, like my people were working really closely with me, because it was like, okay, they're trying to manage me as Nicole, the influencer, get me brand deals, whatever. But then they're also helping me fully like create the Charleston Diaries and like, grow that brand. And
this management team is helping you.
Yeah.
So you're seeing things happen.
Yes. I'm seeing that, but it's a lot of ideas. Okay. But still, I'm like, this is a lot of time. So I'm like, how are they doing this for 11 other people? Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I was almost like, what am I like? I just didn't get it. So but then I'm starting to hear that things are falling through the cracks. Some people aren't getting their money. And I'm like, oh boy.
Oh, they're paying them directly.
So what?
That was my next question. You're paying them.
So what the management team was we had to do like a sign-on fee, and which I didn't think anything of it, because I don't know. I just didn't. It made sense to me, because the way that they were saying it was like, you're not going to make any money from brand deals for like the first month that we're working with you, like whatever. And I was like, okay, fine, sure. But then the way that it would work if we get a brand deal is that the brand would pay them. They would take their cut, which was like 20%, I think. It was industry standard, whatever it was. I can't remember exactly what it was. And then they would pay us.
Yeah.
I got my money. Actually, no, I never did get one paycheck. But at the time that I started hearing it from people, I got my money. But then I started hearing like, oh, they're not getting paid. I'm like, all right, this is a little fishy. Then like I'm starting to talk to some other people, and they're all kind of saying like, oh, like this is just weird, whatever. And long story short, then it's September, like mid-September
Of last year?
Yeah,
Okay.
My God.
maybe towards the end of September, and because I was getting ready to host a Halloween event. That was gonna be like my big event that I was doing, to like come back from my little break. And we'd been planning it, and we had like a shoot, like a content shoot for it coming up. And one of the girls that works for the agency, who I love, Hillary, she's amazing. She like called me, or she texted me a Sunday night and was like, call me like as soon as you can. And I texted her back like the next morning at 7 a.m. Oh, sorry, I missed it. Like call me like literally as soon as whatever. And she calls me and I was in Harris Teeter at like 7:30 in the morning. I don't know why, but I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? And she's like, you need to not work with, I don't want to say the person's name,
this
but
group,
you need to not work with her. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, get out of this content shoot that you're doing tomorrow. Cause she's like, I haven't gotten paid. The other girl that's working hasn't gotten paid.
Wow.
We know that. She's like, she is lying about everything. It's all a scam. And I'm like,
That is terrifying.
oh, and I'm like standing there in Harris Theater, like,
What are you talking about?
oh my God. And she's like, I'll explain more, but like, you need to make sure that you do not do this.
Oh, wow.
You need to, cause I was like the main client I had like the biggest project coming up. So she called me cause everybody else was kind of like influencer stuff where it's not as,
Right.
this was like a big thing that we were doing. We were working with another agency to do the content. So it was like a lot of people were about to get screwed over. So she's like, your main thing right now is we get you out of the content shoot tomorrow. And I'm like, okay. So I like said I was sick. So I'm like, okay, that buys me like a little bit of time. Sorry, like let's push it till next week, whatever. And long story short, like, yeah, we find out that she wasn't paying any of her employees. There were so many of like us influencers that weren't getting their money. And then for some of them, she was having them pay her like monthly. And we found out that it was everybody's contract and like
Was different.
Some people had to pay her. Then we find out that it's all the money is recycled. So if one person was paying their monthly fee to her of whatever, and then that's how I'm gonna get. It was all like dirty money. Like I was like, I'm taking somebody else's money to get my pay, because she was like spending it. She was using like our brand money on like her rent and like all this stuff.
Was this person from Charleston?
No.
Okay. So she came in.
She came in
to do this.
Saw an
That's
opportunity.
horrible.
Yep. And fully, and then we kind of like
How old is this operation?
not old.
Right.
And
That's
she was my age.
influencing.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
So
years
yeah,
old.
like 2 years.
But so she basically, she told all of us that she worked at Vogue, she worked at Glossier, all this stuff. That was all a lie.
Oh God.
So everything had been uncovered. And I think the girl that Hillary, who told me everything, she had been like working on uncovering this for a while.
No
So
kidding.
she had like some, like, but she obviously couldn't, she needed like proof and she needed to whatever. So then she finally was like, okay, we got to get these girls out of this. So then we kind of like, me and Morgan and another influencer, Marissa, and we like teamed up. We're calling attorneys. We're like trying to figure out, because we're like, we technically are all in this contract. We're all in contracts until whenever, like a couple months. We still had a couple months in our contract, and like we were like, we have to get out of this. We can't, whatever.
Were you ever paid?
Well, she said she got her paid.
I was never paid from because basically what we ended up doing is like, it was this crazy week, and we were like, we have to get everybody out of this, whatever. And we basically like said we all like wrote letters to her, like from an attorney, not from an attorney, but like they helped us write it. And we just said like, you breached your contract, XYZ. Because she also was saying that if you broke your contract, then we have to pay her like thousands of dollars.
Oh my
whatever.
gosh.
So that's
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so I will breach my contract and I will forfeit the like $700 that I'm owed through a partnership so that I don't have to pay you and whatever. And that was agreed upon, and I was out, and then everybody else kind of did the same thing. We watched it literally fall within like 2 days of like, once me and a couple of the girls
Did that
got
hurt your
out.
relationships with the people in town, like the
No.
businesses? Oh,
No.
good. So
Because
hurt.
because at first it was kind of like, it was very, no one was really talking about it. We didn't want to talk about it too much because we all wanted to get out first because we didn't want her to like screw us over. And then once me and the like 2 main girls who were doing this, once we got out, and then we started to reach out to the rest of the clients and just be like, hey, this is what happened. Get out of your contract. So then people start getting out. And then we see that she sends an email out to like the remaining clients and they're like, hey, like things are going on. I'm scaling back the business or something. And then it was like
things are going on. You're finding out.
Then the next day it was, oh, we're closed, out of business. So this literally all happened like that. So then once it was closed, then we were like, oh, we can talk about this more.
Yeah. Right.
And then and then we called this agency that we had been working, Legacy Digital, which I can say this, but then they're amazing. And they had been working closely with us with all of these influencers and different projects and whatever. And like we called them to say, hey, like this is a really bad situation going on. Like when we called them before our management team closed, but
oh my God,
to fill them in. So then it's like, then we kind of started, I started posting a little bit about it, and then people would be like, oh, is this about so-and-so? Like we had a really crazy interaction. So then they were trying to like, not only poach influencers, then they're starting to poach like local small businesses to get them involved and get them, take their money and market them and
there
whatever.
definitely seems a place in Charleston to be a management agent.
Oh, for sure.
Influence.
like
is there
a
one
clean,
now?
No.
like
There's
no,
not one now?
There's not one.
Let's start one.
Well, that is actually one of my things that I was like,
I was
Do
going
it.
to say you
this?
should start.
You should
I know.
start it.
I kind of have thought about it. And now that I'm in a very like interesting part in my career right now, and I'm like, maybe I should start
There is
that.
definitely
Yeah.
a
There's
place
a need
for
for
this.
Yeah, and it was just
Well,
very
isn't
like
Charlotte doing anything, or even
She
Q?
does
You said
influencer
Legacy.
marketing. Charlotte Berger does.
yeah, but I guess there's a difference between like influencer marketing versus like influencer
Because
management.
they're partnering with the already
Management
established. Like we need someone to manage the influencers. Charlotte's partnering with the influencers for marketing purposes.
Yeah, like her clients are restaurants and stuff, and so she's like
she's
getting
contacting the influencers, working with them on their rates, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Whereas instead of working with a management team, they could just
Right. She wants people to help her find gigs.
Mhm.
Right. Nicole does.
Yeah, that's basically like what, because they're just it's
The
kind of
contracts do all that kind of stuff.
brands.
because that's another
Pitch.
thing. Pitch, yeah, because it's just pitching and figuring that kind of stuff out, and like also helping you come up with ideas, and like it was for those couple months, it was amazing. I was like, wow, it gave me a lot of confidence because I was like, oh, like people outside of my own brain like believe in my brand and believe in what I want to create, and then when that all went away, I was like, oh my God, what the hell do I do now?
jeez.
And it was
That's
very, and that
terrifying.
kind of was very, and that was like October, mid-October, something like that when that all went down. I was like, okay. And it just kind of made me like, excuse me.
What lessons did you learn from all of this that you would tell others?
Oh my gosh, so many things. Don't be so trusting of people.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing that I've learned in influencing and in Charleston in general, and like not in Charleston, I guess just influencing. And because I'm very much someone where I am a very trusting person. I think it's a good thing in some ways, but then other times it's like, okay, some people do have bad intentions.
Exactly.
And I think if I feel comfortable with you, like, oh, I'm going to start talking and I'm going to give you my ideas and I'm going to whatever.
Right.
And then people can take that and do whatever they want. Because that's what she tried to come back on me once I got on my contract and say, oh, we talked about this idea. I technically partially own this idea also, not just you and Charleston Diaries. I own it too. And so you owe me money.
Oh my.
Oh, I
Does she
ignored all
still
this.
live in Charleston?
No, she left.
Yeah.
But
you
it was
can't-
all, we all realized that like that was
I'm going to be
nonsense.
Googling her immediately.
Oh, I'll tell you who it is.
I'm so curious.
But yeah, no, I think the main thing that I learned is, don't be so trusting. Follow your gut. I think I was really not desperate, but I really needed help. I think at that time, at the time that she came in, it was the perfect storm. Like it was like, I needed help so bad that I was kind of like, probably ignored maybe some gut feelings.
That's predatory, dude.
You know?
That's
Yeah,
predatory
that's
because
horrible.
you kind of know that people in the influencing world need help
Right.
because they want to do the influencing, not the
right.
day job that they have. I'm
Right.
sure.
Right.
So it's kind of predatory in
Oh,
that way.
And
like-
she was grabbing like, people like me who were like small-ish creators,
Yeah.
but like big enough.
exactly.
We're in this awkward like,
the micro influencer space.
but we do enough, especially around Charleston,
Oh,
that
for
it's like
sure.
it is like a full-time
huge.
thing.
Sure it
But
is.
it's like, we do
Yeah.
need help getting paid more, and obviously brands respect you more if someone else is speaking for you.
True.
You know,
makes sense.
like
True. Mm-hmm.
it's just kind of that is what it is, and it makes you sound more legit. And
yeah. How do you want brands to contact you?
my ideal situation is a brand emails me,
Okay.
with an idea and like their budget. Because
Okay.
it gets hard when like sometimes
So you
brands
want to know the budget up front.
that would be ideal.
Okay.
Because a lot of times it's like brands will reach out and be like, hey, we would love to partner. I'm like, okay,
What's your
so
budget?
what are you thinking? Give me an
Exactly.
idea.
All right.
And I obviously love having like creative freedom, but you got to give me like some sort of
Right.
structure,
Sure.
idea.
Right.
And yeah, and it's like, and a budget. Like at least tell me kind of what you're working with. Because I'll give you my rates and then they'll come back and be like, oh no, sorry, whatever, we can only pay you $100. I'm like, okay, well you're asking me for like 3 videos. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is, but I also think for a while that brands didn't know how to.
Right. As
how to
your
do that.
ideal client, like what I know you mentioned nonprofits, but I know you go to a lot of restaurants. What's your ideal client?
I love restaurants. I love also like, I guess like products wise, like I like getting things that I can incorporate into my day-to-day life, whether it's like a kind of alcohol or kind of food, and like I can make it in a Charleston Diaries video. Because I always like, that's why I also struggled, I think, to not get brand deals, but to like work with brands that I'm like, I'm not going to just accept anything
Well, you
because
can
I don't
play-
want it to like, I don't want to be a sellout.
Yeah.
And just like people be like, oh,
yeah.
you know what I
I
mean?
feel like you're underselling yourself because you have like 3.4 million likes on TikTok.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got a great following.
Yeah.
Like over
Oh.
64,000 followers on TikTok.
I saw this really
She's
cute
doing
video.
great.
I saw a bunch of your cute videos too,
Yeah.
but I saw another one, and this woman went from bar to bar asking the bartenders where they go have drinks.
I saw that. She does that like in different cities.
I thought
I'm
that
like, what a
was
cool
That's
series.
really
cool.
Yeah.
It must be like a couple of days worth of footage because
Yeah.
she was drinking a lot during these
That's what she
videos.
said. I was like reading the comments.
I didn't read the comments. I just
Someone
listened.
asked that, and I think she said like 3 to 4 days.
I'm like, I need to be her friend.
Yeah.
but that was a really cool
That was
idea.
a fun idea.
Yeah.
I'd steal that if I were you. Why
Yeah,
not?
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Do it your way.
Yeah.
It's not
Definitely.
stealing. It's,
No,
you
it's
know,
just-
borrowing and making it
Exactly.
better.
Well, and that's the thing. Everybody on like, there's no.
What are you gonna do differently than everybody else, right?
Yeah, and on social media, everybody does have like you are almost copying off of people.
Well, yeah, the whole trends.
Yeah.
That's what the
That's just
trend
what
is.
it
That's
is.
the whole part.
yeah,
of
and it's not
being on
malicious.
TikTok.
It's just like
Right.
it happens.
Right.
So
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, I've learned a lot actually.
Yeah, I
but-
have learned a lot, and I feel like it's interesting to hear your take because other
So you can
influencers
teach
are
old
probably
people.
listening to this. We're not old. Speak for yourself. Just saying. I was like,
I'm
we're
just
in the
kidding.
same age
I'm
group.
just kidding.
But yeah. So what's next for you? I know that you're like in transition right now. Like, what is ideal next for you?
That's a great question,
Mm-hmm.
and that is what I'm trying to figure out. It's very like
I like the idea of you opening your own agency
Yeah.
for influencers.
well, I'll just share this with everybody who's listening. I did get a full-time job earlier this year, and it was good. I liked it, and I just recently got let go because of it was a budgeting thing. It was I worked
Yeah.
for a startup. It was a budgeting thing, and they just kind of were like, we can't. And I said, okay.
So
that
marketing space then.
sucks. Mhm.
Okay.
She's
Yeah.
interviewed with all the people I would already suggest. We had this
Yeah.
conversation before.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and the funny-
Anyone we've had on the podcast, I've suggested her. She's had interviews
Yeah.
with them. So.
Okay.
And it's funny because it's like I was in Charleston for almost 2 years before I started influencing, and I was applying to so many jobs and in all the agencies and whatever, and like I would get to almost getting the job and then it didn't work out, and then I become an influencer, and these are all the agencies that reach out to me for events and
Right.
all that kind of stuff, and it's just funny how it works out. But yeah, I'm in a space right now where I need a job, I think,
Right.
because I need money, but grand scheme of like what I want to do, it's like I'm kind of like refinding my spark and my passion. And I'm kind of just like, I don't know. I do love hosting events. I don't know if that's what I want to do. Because I'm like, there's a lot more, which I'm sure you guys know. Like, there's a lot more that goes into events.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It's
It's a team of people.
Yeah.
It's a
And
team
it's
of
like-
people.
and it's always just been me. And I'm like,
Right.
it's
That's
just,
no, you
it's
don't
a
need
lot.
that. Well,
It's
you
a
know
lot.
what? It's not just you anymore, Nicole.
Yeah.
You're here. You
That's
found
right.
us,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
AMA family.
Yes,
That's true.
that is
Yeah.
so true.
Yeah.
That's
I totally want to collab on an event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we got to figure that out.
Oh, for sure.
Spark. We need help with Spark.
So I'm talking to AAF,
Yeah.
and then we're hoping to have a collab with the American Advertising Federation and the American Marketing Association
Have
to
a
have
big event.
a big event because they do the Addies.
Mhm.
If you guys are familiar with the
Mhm.
Addies.
Mhm.
That's a huge event. That goes from local, regional to district to national level.
Yeah.
Our Spark Awards is only local.
Mm-hmm.
So we can combine. I think there's a way. I just need to get some smart brains together and
Sure.
figure out a way to collab with them.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that was just hot,
Yeah.
fresh conversation I had last night with Jenna,
Yeah.
a past podcast
Mhm.
episode that we had. She's super smart. She's heading up the AAF.
Mm.
I'm like, well, why? Let's
Yeah.
just collab.
Yeah.
What are we
Yeah.
doing here?
I love it.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we're trying to build here is
Mhm.
support. So I was even preaching to Stephanie before you got
Yeah.
there. I'm like, She's like, I'm so stressed. You have support.
Busy and stressed.
Yeah.
I'm so stressed and busy. You have support. Like, reach out to the AMA people. And
Yeah.
we all want to help.
Mhm.
Right.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see where life takes you.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's
What
definitely
kind of marketing
Well,
job do you
luckily we
want?
get to
Like,
follow
let's
along
get a
on
job.
TikTok, so
Well,
that's
let's
good.
get her a job first. Like what? Like PR? Like
We talked about this in the
copy?
way. Yes.
Something I think this has also been a good time for me to like really think about what I want and like my skills and stuff. And I think I want to be like a creative person, like obviously in marketing, whatever, but I'm
Sure.
like creative director or creative something.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I think I am very good at coming up with ideas and all of that kind of stuff.
You know, we should let your listeners tell us.
So.
Comment in the comment box below on what do you think?
Yeah, what do you guys
Nicole?
think?
Yeah.
You guys give me a job.
I think you should go to agencies and pitch and start a new, under their umbrella brand,
Mm-hmm.
what you want to do, but with agency support.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Like go to someone like in the black marketing and be like, what if we started a division amongst in the black that I run doing influencer management?
Right. What do you need? What do they need?
Mhm.
What do
Survey
they
all the
need?
agencies.
And this is a niche need in the area of Charleston. So like they don't have it.
And you
Now,
already
could-
have a roster of people.
Yeah, and you could do, the
manage.
Southeast even. You could
Mhm.
expand to Savannah and Myrtle Beach and
Just don't do what that one lady did.
no.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, you
But
already know that.
With,
Oh, that's
with agency support, you could probably make it happen pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's so true. Ooh.
I don't know.
Good
I
job.
would
You're
do
onto
that.
something.
Yep. Chat GPT. it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Oh my god. ChatGPT is my best
Gemini or
friend.
whatever. Same.
I love
Yes.
affection.
Well,
ChatGPT.
I think we've chatted about
Yeah.
all of it, haven't
Yeah.
we? Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about? Is there any foundations that you are near and dear to your heart? Is there anything? How do we find you?
Oh, you can
Everywhere.
find me. Yes.
Well,
you can find me
minus the millions of people that already know you. How does anybody else find you?
on Instagram, Nicole_Farina, and TikTok, Nicole.Farina. Those are my two active platforms right now. I do have a podcast, but I haven't.
Now, is the Charleston Diaries taken?
No,
You should take it. Just
I
in
do.
Case.
Oh, I have it. I have the
Oh,
Charles Diaries
perfect.
Instagram.
Okay.
I just haven't, with everything going on, we've just put a little pin in it.
That's just a
There you go.
cool name. I just want to.
I know, and that's why I'm like,
Did you
just
trademark it?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the Charles Diaries is not going away. I just think I'm just still like, there's more to it, and I think that's
For
like
sure.
the very frustrating thing of like, I'm like, I know that there's more.
Mhm.
And I know that the way of me fleshing it out worked like last time when I was first creating it, but I'm like, I know that there's more, and I just like can't figure out exactly what it is yet. But
It'll come.
it is such
It'll
a good
come.
name, and I love
It
it.
is
I'm like,
such a
I
good
just
name.
it's
We
gonna.
obviously like on the brand marketing.
Yeah.
Charleston marketing
Charles
podcast.
It took us a year to name that. So.
We had all of these cool names, and we really workshopped this. But I like, for SEO purposes, the Charleston
Oh.
Diaries. I know exactly what I'm signing up for. By listening.
Exactly.
That's great.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good work.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Awesome.
We'll all figure it out together.
Yes,
Yeah, we are.
exactly.
All right. Well, you want to close this out?
Well, who do you think? Charleston Media Solutions.
Yep.
Jerry
feels good.
Jerry feels good with the beats. I just
Yep.
like saying that. The
He
beats.
does. Of course, the
Matthew.
AMA.
Thank you, Matthew.
And
Kelly.
Matthew. And
Kelly showed up late.
Kelly's
It's
here.
okay, Kel. You're a busy lady.
She's there.
Lady. You're a
She's
busy
there.
lady.
Taking
Thank
our
you for
photos
taking.
and videos behind the scenes.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nicole. It was
Yeah.
a pleasure.
Yeah, it's
Thanks
so
for
nice
having
to
me.
meet you. You're precious. I can't wait to see you out in the world,
Thank you.
Doing
Out in
her
the
thing.
wild.
out in the wild, doing your thing.
Yes.
So,
All right, folks. Well, we'll talk to you next time.
all right. Bye.
Peace out, Charleston.
Bye.